Hello and welcome to our presentation. This will be presented by myself, Sam, Jake, Oscar, and George. Our company is called Forged in Culture. So, a little introduction. The company is built on hype and it's driven by culture. Forged in Culture has established itself as one of the UK's most exciting emerging lifestyle sport brands. Since launching, we've cultivated a strong domestic following through culturally inspired limited edition kit drops, powerful storytelling, and collaborations with grassroots clubs through to professional teams and streetwear communities. With a proven model and an audience hungry for culture-driven design, we're ready to scale globally, starting with high potential, culturally rich markets such as the United States and Saudi Arabia. Our current track record: we have 12 consecutive kit releases sold out within 72 hours. We have 150,000 plus loyal UK-based fans. We have 10 plus professional club partnerships, and we are also featured in Hypebeast, Copper 90, and Complex UK. So, as a company, we are more than kits. We're storytelling partners to a club. So, we are a UK-based sports fashion brand operating at the intersection of football, culture, and global storytelling. Serving sports fans and fashion-conscious consumers aged between 12 and 40 roughly, we design culturally inspired, city-driven kits that transform traditional team wear into limited edition collectible fashion pieces. Each release is exclusive to a specific pre-season tour, global event, or international moment, allowing fans to own a shirt that represents not just their club, but a place in time, a place in history, a story. Unlike traditional manufacturers who produce mass seasonal kits, we position ourselves as storytelling partners for football clubs. So this creates a difference for us. Using the affordable fashion-forward designs, it allows customers to wear them beyond match days, whilst also strengthening the relationship between clubs, local communities, and global supporters. A percentage of revenue is reinvested into grassroots football development in the regions where shirts are launched so that we can use more sustainable materials and grassroots clubs can gain more money. Understanding our position. So we've created a SWOT analysis to get a better understanding of where we stand in the market. Some of our strengths are we are already well established within the UK markets. We have a strong brand identity. Their exclusivity model increases hype and brand value. A few weaknesses are that our product relies heavily on team collaborations, but we do have limited in-house capacity for large-scale international production. A threat is that we do rely on emerging football markets continuing to grow, and tariffs and trade restrictions are a restriction for us, especially when we're going abroad into the international market. A couple opportunities for us is that the football market in North America are growing year on year, so we can capitalize on this. Our design is influential in Asian purchase behavior. In the Asian markets, they do seem to appreciate the more fashion style design focused kits. Our position and statement. So we are a UK-based sports fashion brand operating at the intersection of football, culture, and global storytelling, serving sports fans and fashion-conscious consumers aged between 12 to 40 who want a deeper emotional connection to the club that they support. Unlike traditional manufacturers, as I mentioned earlier, who do produce the mass seasonal kits, we give a more of a storytelling background. It's not just a kit, basically. It is a history, a piece in time, as I mentioned earlier, that people can wear as a fashion piece, as opposed to just wearing it to a football game. By merging sport, fashion, and social impact, we enable clubs to enter new markets in a meaningful way, change global perceptions of emerging leagues, and give fans a unique way to feel part of their club's international journey. The 4 pillars of global growth as a campaign overview for us. Our expansion strategy centers on measurable, achievable targets across 4 key areas. So the first area is our social media following. We aim to gain 100,000 new followers across Instagram, TikTok, with a 40% from Asia and 40% from North America increase, generating 5 million combined impressions from international audiences during pre-season tour campaigns. Our second pillar for our growth will be kit sales. We are going to sell limited edition kits tied to 3 international tournaments. We're going to reach at least 80% sell-through rate within the first 14 days of each drop using time scarcity and local content. Our third pillar of global growth is website traction. We aim to boost web traffic from Asia and North America by 50% compared to the previous 6-month period through campaign content, QR codes, and platform-specific promotions. And our last pillar for global growth is international partnerships. We aim to secure two to three confirmed international club or federation partnerships within 18 months, leveraging storytelling from tournament-based kit drops and case studies. So our first objective is building global reach through digital storytelling. The goal. So as I just said, the goal is to increase international brand visibility for Forged partner clubs in Southeast Asia and North America. We'll be doing this through digital storytelling. Our smart objective is to gain 100,000 new followers within 12 months, with balanced growth across target regions. Our strategy for this will be to do this through geo-targeted ads, influencer collaborations, and event-based content. We'll generate a minimum of 5 million combined impressions from international audiences during pre-season tour campaigns.
So our second objective is converting hype into revenue and loyalty. So 2 points here are kit sales. So our aim is to sell limited edition kits tied to 3 international tournaments and hope they make an 80% sell-through rate within 14 days of each drop. And this will be used using timed scarcity, QR storytelling, and local content. And we'll complete 3 kit drops spaced quarterly over 12 months. And the second one is to convert international digital audiences into long-term fans by boosting web traffic from Asia and North America by 50% compared to the previous 6-month period, measured through platform-specific campaigns, SEO optimization, and influencer partnerships. The fourth objective is turning exposure into partnerships. So let's focus on how we can leverage international exposure to attract new club and federation clients outside the UK. So our strategy is clear. We aim to boost web traffic from Asia and North America using targeted campaign content and QR codes. This is our specific approach. We have set a measurable goal to increase site sessions from these regions by 50% compared to the last 6 months. This ambitious target will help us track our progress effectively. To achieve this, we'll utilize platform-specific campaigns, SEO strategies, and collaborate with influencers. These tools will be key in driving engagement and reaching new audiences. Finally, let's remember the relevance of this strategy. So it will gauge our campaign's effectiveness in fostering global growth. We'll track it over a 6-month period after the campaign kicks off, and it will provide a clear timeline to measure success. So our KPIs. So on screen is our KPIs for our brand. KPIs are important because they allow Forged in Culture to measure whether the international expansion strategy is actually successful. Without KPIs, it would be very difficult to understand if influencer marketing, international kit drops, and partnerships are actually generating real business growth, or if they're just temporary online attention. They also really help turn broad objectives, such as gaining 100,000 followers across TikTok, into measurable and realistic targets. This allows the company to track progress over time and identify which areas of the strategy are actually performing well and which ones may need improving for the future. Another reason KPIs are also important is because they measure different aspects of performance, not just social media popularity. So, for example, some KPIs focus on awareness and audience growth, whereas others measure sales performance, customer engagement, website traffic, long-term partnerships. And so this creates a more balanced evaluation of success. The KPIs were designed specifically around Forged in Culture's goals as lifestyle sports brand. Since the company relies heavily on limited edition drops, storytelling, it is important to measure consumer demand, audience engagement, and global reach. And they also help demonstrate accountability and future potential to investors by showing that the brand has clear targets and a structured growth strategy.
Let's start with the USA audience. We're targeting 12 to 40-year-olds, predominantly males at 70%, but with a growing 30% female segment. Our priority audience sits within the 18 to 34 core amateur and semi-pro players, tournament teams, football fans who live at the intersection of sport and culture. What makes this audience unique is that they are culture-led, not trend-led. They see footballers as cultural influencers and they blend football, fashion, and lifestyle into their personal identity. Problem they face? Most kits on the market are either too generic or purely performance focused. There's no story, there's no identity behind them. They live on Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and they respond best to short form storytelling and editorial style visuals. The strategic takeaway here is simple. In the US, our kits need to function as both performance wear and cultural fashion pieces. Moving to the Saudi Arabia market, same age range, similar gender split, but with a very different mindset. Here, the audience is deeply community driven. Football clubs aren't just teams, they are cultural symbols, and belonging to one carries real identity weight. Brand loyalty is high, which means trust matters far more than virality here. They are not chasing the next trending thing, they want something that genuinely represents them. Key challenges include finding kits that respect local cultural and religious values and performing in extreme heat conditions. They are primarily on WhatsApp, Instagram, and TikTok and respond to emotion-driven content rooted in heritage and pride. The strategic takeaway in Saudi Arabia is success isn't about being loud, it's about being trusted. Cultural respect and community alignment comes first.
We focus on monitoring and analyzing performance using a small set of core tools that work together. Our main platform is HubSpot. This acts as our CRM as well as our campaign and relationship management system. It allows us to keep everything in one place. Alongside this, we use Google and Meta ads to manage our paid advertising and understand audience behavior and performance. HubSpot is central to how we scale Forged in Culture. It works as a single platform where we can manage our audience campaigns and partnerships. It integrates directly with Google Ads and Meta Ads Manager, meaning all paid performance data feeds into one system. This gives us a real-time tracking of key KPIs and performance insights, helping us make quicker and more informed decisions. Ultimately, HubSpot becomes one single source of truth across the business. One of the biggest advantages of HubSpot is it stores our whole network on this one place, including recent activity and engagement data. We can also build and run marketing campaigns directly within HubSpot, including email and SMS campaigns. These campaigns can be scheduled in advance, which is especially useful for our design, as we'll be looking to reach out to different audiences in different time zones, such as Saudi Arabia and the USA. After campaigns are sent, HubSpot tracks all engagement data, including opens and clicks and website visits. This allows us to evaluate what is working and continuously refine our approach to build a loyal audience base. When creating campaigns, we'll also use techniques like A and B testing. This means sending different versions of content to segment to our audience and see which performs better. Over time, this helps us understand what type of content drives more engagement and conversions. In addition to our campaign management, HubSpot also supports our paid social strategy. Through its integration, we can manage Google and Meta ads, promote product drops, and distribute content across platforms. This includes short form content strategies such as TikTok. All performance data, including sales and campaign results, is tracked and stored within HubSpot.
So the perceptual map below positions Forge relative to its competitors across two key axes, which is price and brand awareness. So Forge is positioned as a premium brand with a low market awareness. So this is unlike Nike and Adidas and Puma, which already dominate the market. So Forge stands out through exclusivity and high perceived value. This creates a strong opportunity where we don't need to compete on being everywhere immediately. So our brand focuses on building a distinct identity first through limited edition kits. And then as awareness grows through targeted marketing, community engagement, we can then move towards the top right quadrant while maintaining its premium position.
Now let's look at where we sit in competitive analysis. The global giants Nike, Adidas, Puma aren't our direct competition, they are aspirational benchmarks. Their weakness, they don't localize culturally, meaning storytelling for smaller clubs. They build for scale, not nuance. The real competition sits in custom kit space. providers like Swaz, Sporty Kit Sportswear. They offer bespoke kits and decent quality, but they lack brand awareness, and crucially, they have no cultural branding strategy. That's where we win. Our competitive advantage is in the integration of the three things none of our competitors are combining right now: custom kit designs, cultural storytelling, and design-first marketing. That combination is our moat. Now looking at the traditional media, this slide primarily focuses on Saudi Arabia, where print and outdoor media still carry serious weight. They're seen as credible and authoritative in a way that digital alone can't replicate. We are looking at billboards in high traffic areas, football publications, and magazines, all supported by our partnership with Global Voices, who handle accurate Arabic translation and ensure everything we put out is culturally sensitive and appropriate. The strategic role of traditional media isn't to replace digital, it's to legitimize it. Billboards build trust, digital drives engagement. You need both to fulfill market penetration in Saudi Arabia. Now in the digital media, let's start with the Saudi Arabian market. So TV still plays a major role in the mass awareness and credibility. Extremely high social media penetration, especially on WhatsApp, Instagram, and TikTok. Users actively engage with football content, entertainment and short-form video, product discovery through social platforms. The target audience: football clubs entering pre-season tournaments, youth and semi-professional teams, football fans who influence kit trends and aesthetics. So the strategy: TV advertising. So we're going to run ads during major footballing and sports programs, focusing on emotional storytelling with key indicators on culture and football identity. Then for social media, Instagram, we're going to have high quality visuals of kits, reels showing cultural inspiration behind the designs. On TikTok, short viral style content, kit reveals, transition of the kits on match day, and collaborations with local football creators. On WhatsApp, this will be direct communication with clubs, sharing a catalogue, quick inquiries, and building a relationship. Now in the US market, one of the largest digital advertising markets globally, social media and online ads dominate over traditional channels. So we'll focus more on digital media instead of traditional. Strong participation in amateur, college, and semi-professional football as well. The strategy here: paid digital advertising, focus heavily on Instagram and TikTok ads, target users based on their interest in football and their participation in leagues and tournaments, and use carousel ads showcasing different cultural kit designs. So the content marketing, we're going to highlight the story behind each kit, video content designed to pitch the journey of how we made the kit and how we came to that design. And then we're also going to use influencer marketing as well, but we'll speak about that more later.
So here I'll be explaining how influencer marketing can help Forged expand globally. So particularly into the US and Saudi Arabia markets. That's our main goal. So the first influencer we'll be using is Mark Goldbridge. He has a large football audience across the UK and the US already, and has previously has experience of promoting products through live streams and football content. He represents a traditional football fan, which gives the brand authenticity within football culture. His live streams are heavily clipped and shared across platforms like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Facebook, Twitter, meaning a shirt reveal or collaboration could generate large organic exposure for the brand internationally and very quickly. So the second influencer we'll be using is Aboflah. He has a huge audience across Saudi Arabia and the wider Arabic-speaking countries. He connects particularly well with younger audiences and brings cultural relevance to the Middle Eastern market. And this is mainly because he's Arabic-speaking himself. On top of this, audiences also feel a stronger personal connection and trust towards him. Another point, he has also been involved in football and charity events previous, which aligns with our storytelling and community-driven identity overall.
Now moving on to engaging global audiences. Sport is widely recognized as a global communication tool because it transcends language, politics, and geography, according to a Journal of Sport Management Research. Sport creates shared meaning and emotional connections across cultures, making it one of the most effective platforms for global brand communication. What this means for Forged is keep the same brand identity everywhere, but adapt how you show it depending on the country. This reflects the the concept of globalization from Robertson 1995, where global brands must adapt to local cultures to remain relevant. This is important because US audiences are highly influenced by streetwear, individuality, and trend culture, whereas Saudi audiences place greater emphasis on cultural respect, community, and values. Instead of just sport fans, Forge focuses on niche high value audiences, fashion conscious, culture driven, digitally engaged. Coulter 2017 aids this, stating psychographics are often more valuable than demographics alone. In terms of local execution, Forge would differ by market. US content would be more individualistic and influencer led, reflecting street culture, whereas Saudi content focuses on community identity and respect. This ensures relevance without losing brand identity. Engaging international digital communities, the goal for Forged is building participation, not just reach. According to the Journal of Interactive Marketing, engagement is strongest when users actively interact, not just simply consume. The goal is to build a movement, not just a brand. For the dimensions of fandom, emotional, for Forge, customers don't just want to wear the products; they want to connect with the story behind them. Social, people connect through shared interests in football, culture, and streetwear. Cultural, this is especially important in international markets where audiences want to see their own culture reflected. Additionally, away from dimensions, gamification helps increase engagement by rewarding participation. It motivates users to interact more frequently and stay involved over time. For Forged, this approach encourages repeat purchase, repeat engagement, and builds long-term loyalty. The impacts of gamification will be discussed later on. Platforms like Reddit are valuable because they host highly engaged niche communities. For Forge, Reddit can be used to gather honest, authentic feedback, host AMAs with designers or collaborators, test ideas before launching product drops. This creates two-way communication, which is essential for building a strong community. Now moving on to monetization, we will position Forged as a hybrid monetization brand, combining product, content, and community. This includes limited edition kits as our core revenue, storytelling around cultural drops, and exclusive access through memberships. Forged in Culture monetizes not just products, but cultural storytelling and exclusivity, reflecting how consumers increasingly value meaning and experience alongside products. Forge doesn't follow traditional monetization models. Instead of mass production and broadcasting led revenue, we use limited edition drops, social storytelling, and location based kits. Traditional models focus on scale, whereas we focus on scarcity, which increases perceived value. The brand is fully online, allowing a global reach, but with risks including quality control, outsourcing, and seasonal revenue. Key strengths include exclusivity, cultural meaning, and collectability. We position our products as cultural artifacts, including increasing perceived value and willingness to pay. Additionally, Forge will look to integrate with EA Sports and PES football to increase the collectability elements, where consumers can purchase in-game shirts whilst also enabling AR shirts. So users can visualize how the products will look on them, as well as social sharing, which will enhance engagement. Finally, our membership model is free but engagement based, offering early access, discounts, and exclusives, helping retain an active audience and maximize long term value. Thank you for listening, and here's our reference list.